So Israel intercepting a barrage of Iranian missiles overnight. But President Trump says Iran might want to make a deal to end the fighting.
Okay, so a lot of questions need to be answered. Chief Foreign Correspondent Trey Yingst is live in Tel Aviv with the latest. Hey, Trey.
Yeah, hey guys, good morning. Amid these diplomatic conversations, Iran is ramping up its attacks once again on Israel, overnight launching 7 separate barrages of ballistic missiles. You can see in this aftermath video here from the heart of Tel Aviv, fires were burning this morning. Black smoke was seen across the horizon. This drone video showing the destruction to one apartment building. We arrived on the scene earlier after a 220-pound warhead slammed into the street below. Here's what we saw. Right now, first responders are removing debris and rubble from the site of a direct impact in Tel Aviv. Early this morning, black smoke was billowing from the skyline here following a direct impact from an Iranian ballistic missile. You can see the side of this apartment building totally sheared off. At least 6 people were wounded in Israel's second largest city as these Iranian missile barrages continue.
Our forces arrived here after receiving dispatch to the emergency hotline. We go straight into the building, even though it's could collapse at any moment, even though the building might be on fire or there's cars on fire. That doesn't matter. What matters first when we arrive to the scene is life-saving operations.
The Israelis spent much of the night shooting down this incoming fire. You can see some interceptions here. The advanced aero defense system was taking down a lot of the ballistic missiles, but there were also cluster munitions used, raining debris and shrapnel down on the population below. The Israelis and the Americans are continuing their strikes against the Islamic Republic, despite the fact that these diplomatic talks are taking place. This is some video from U.S. Central Command over the weekend showing how they are systematically going after the military structure of the Iranian regime. Overnight, President Trump doubling down on his desire to find a diplomatic solution if the Iranians are willing to come to the table and make serious concessions.
We're giving it 5 days, and then we're going to see where that takes us. And I would say at the end of this period, I think it could very well end up being a very good deal for everybody. As good as if we went all the way and just literally annihilated the place, which if we don't have to do that, that would be a good thing, not a bad thing.
We have some new video here showing the aftermath in Iran following strikes on Monday against the capital of Tehran. These strikes are expected to continue and intensify in the days ahead. Again, as President Trump is looking at 2 things. 1, to see if the Iranians are serious about making a deal. And 2, trying to figure out who is in charge of Iran and who can make a decision to find a diplomatic solution. Guys?
And is it your belief still, Trey, that the president's speaking through an emissary to the Speaker of the House, Mohammed Baghdad Gabalev, the 64-year-old, who continues to act belligerent puts out belligerent statements towards us?
Yeah, reports indicate Iran's parliament speaker is the man in charge of the negotiations now on behalf of the Iranians. And he is someone who in the past has threatened the United States and President Trump himself as recently as just 2 months ago during those demonstrations that were taking place in January. As this is developing, though, the president has many options on the table. He's giving the Iranians 5 days to find a solution here. And if they're unwilling to do so, we know there are more U.S. forces on the way to the Middle East as we speak. And so President Trump has many options ahead if Iran doesn't want to play ball at the negotiating table.
Absolutely. I think it was really sobering that for that intermediate range missile to go 2,500 miles. I think it got Europe's attention more than anything else. Yeah. Thanks so much, Trey.
Absolutely. We realize what their capabilities are.
I would just say real quickly before we move on, just because he's, beating his chest in Iran right now doesn't mean that he's not working with the administration. Delcy Rodriguez did the same thing after her attack, and it's clear that she was working in the United States. That conversation changed as they got to those
That's
people.
why the president said, I'm not going to tell you who I'm talking to,
right.
Because his life, he could be dead. But then Axios reported the name of the Speaker of the Parliament. We don't know if that's actually the guy, but that's what reports are.
That's what Trey thinks. So.
Yeah. All right, let's move on.